Hello again, YouTubers. BossSolidSnake here with One Grape. One Grape, say hello.
What's going on, guys?
We're here today for what's probably going to be a multiple-part series on how to get the Platinum Trophy in MAG.
This thing's going to be so in-depth, it's crazy.
So as you see here on the screen, we're in One Grape's trophy thing. You see... Alright, before we start anything, what is up with the picture for the Platinum? I mean, they got all these like cool little glowy things for all the other trophies, and the Plat is like this dude, this like little stick figure. It's I don't know,
it's
but whatever.
It's ridiculous.
Moving on.
It's just horrible.
All right, we'll go ahead and preface ahead of time. 2 of these trophies are going to be their own videos because they require a lot of explanation.
Let me just scroll down and show you which ones we're gonna
go here.
We're gonna do in-depth video on chest candy, and we're gonna do in-depth video on eager beaver. All right, back to the top.
Back to the top. So we'll start with the first one here, which is called Little Buddy.
Little Buddy.
Now, Little Buddy it can be kind of difficult, but for the most part, it's relatively easy because all you have to do is get 2 purple sidekick ribbons, and all a purple sidekick ribbon is 15 assists in a game.
Now, I personally would recommend, if you're just trophy hunting, to get this trophy, to shoot a lot of enemies, but do not kill them, and hope someone else kills them, and you'll get the assist.
Exactly.
Do this 15 times in a battle, and you should be good to go.
You'll probably end up with a pretty crappy round as far as points, but, you know, like I said, if you're trophy hunting, then there you go. That's the easiest way to do it.
Right.
Alright, we'll move on to the next one here, which is Boomtown.
Boomtown!
Now, this is one that you can pretty much get in either Acquisition or Domination if you can get into one.
Highly recommend Acquisition, though.
Acquisition's probably easier of the 2, just because there's less people around to stop you from getting the things. But so you have to get the Mortar Demolition, Total Blackout, and AA ribbons, just 1 time each, and each one's relatively easy to get.
For the most part,
the Mortar Demolition and Total Blackout ones each are going to be 2 of a specific thing during the round. The Mortar Demolition is kind of obvious. It's the mortar battery. You got to get 2 of those in 1 round. Total Blackout is the sensor array. You need 2 of those in a round. And the AA Demolition one is you only need 1 of those in a round. And it's also probably the hardest of the 3 to get because the AAA is usually so well defended.
Sometimes it can be just a real pain in the... We'll just stop.
But eventually, you'll get it. I mean, they can't defend it forever.
One Grape's recommendation for getting the Mortar Demolition and Total Blackout ribbons easier is be on a faction that does a lot of attacking, which would be either Valor or Raven.
Most definitely.
If you can sneak behind the enemy lines, then you can go blow the hell out of all these pretty much at free will and get your ribbons very easily.
Matter of fact, if you want to go with a specific map, probably the easiest one to get it would be the Raven map, whose name kind of escapes me at the moment, but it's pretty easy to tell which one it is just based on the coloration of it. All the Raven maps have that kind of purplish blue coloring to them.
Yep. Sorry about those notifications, guys. Gotta plug in the controller here. Alright, so we've gone over the Mortar Demolition, the Total Blackout, and the AA ribbon.
I suppose we might as well note at this point, too, before we get any further in, there will be kind of slides in the middle of what we're describing here, showing what each one of the ribbons looks like that you'll need for each particular trophy.
Just in case you've never played the game before and you're just trophy hunting and want to get the Plat.
Now, granted, you could just go into the awards list and look the things up yourself, but we're trying to help you out here so you don't have to.
Exactly. We're nice guys like that.
Alright, moving on to the next one.
All right.
I got 5 on it, which is killing 5 enemies with a single strategic strike, including poison gas. Now, this one is
got to be some luck.
There's several ways you could go about doing this one. Honestly, the best one, if you're able to use the powers for it, would probably be a strafing run.
That's a good one.
Especially if you can get one on domination. Because especially on the S.V.E.R map, because the way the spawns are set up on the S.V.E.R map, you'll have people coming out of the spawn. It's just one big central spawn. And there's this nice little road right there in front of where they come out. And if you can set the strafing run there, it does like 3 passes. So it's relatively easy to get 5 kills within that. If you time it right.
You can get upwards of probably 20 with a good strike.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it helps if you can work with somebody on it. If you can get like a sensor sweep done ahead of time.
Oh yeah, that helps.
So that it reveals the enemy locations. You'll see this big exodus of red dots coming out, and just let it fly, and more than likely you'll get it. Aside from that, you basically could use the same strategy on like acquisition or something. Have somebody scan the area where the red dots are coming in, and then drop your strike where you see them coming in at.
I got mine using a cluster bomb on an attacking game.
That'll work too.
I used my cluster bomb right on top of a bunker and caught probably 10 of them spawning out or around the bunker at that time.
You can do it with like helicopters and stuff too. It's just a matter of catching them when they spawn.
So yeah, the basic goal here is to put your strategic strikes anywhere where there's a group of people or a big spawn, and you should be fine.
The bigger the group coming out, the more chance you have of getting your 5 at once.
The bigger the better. Alright, so that's called I got 5 on it, and that's a bronze trophy. Not the hardest one to get, not the easiest one to get, probably just a mid-range one. A little luck and you'll have it. Alright, the next one we're going to do, moving down the list, is called Dropping Like Flies. And this is for destroying 5 enemy helicopters. Now, this sounds kind of daunting, but it really isn't. You can use sensor shells to as a strategic strike on these vehicles, and they destroy it real easily. If you don't want to go about that way, then on your loadouts, load out with rocket launchers and grenade launchers, and just start lighting them up.
Just regular grenades.
Regular grenades work too.
I mean, if you're lower level, you won't have access to the grenade launchers, so...
Right. And we will do more videos on loadouts for blowing stuff up, and loadouts for rockets, and loadouts for all that good stuff. But anyway, the easiest way, be a squad leader or platoon leader and drop your strategic strikes on these bad boys. And you'll get 5
It's easier as squad
in no
leader
time.
because they're the ones that have the actual guided artillery that you can use.
And with this all being said, keep the mortars up. Keep your mortars up, you'll be able to drop the above trophy, and this trophy will be real easy to get.
Definitely.
Alright, so that one's called Dropping Like Flies. That's a bronze. Alright, our next one we're moving down the list on, it is called Mea Culpa. And I'm going to let Ryan take over on this one for a second.
Mea Culpa is killing 50 enemies with a turret over your career. We're not 100% positive, but we're fairly sure that they're talking about a bunker turret.
Should be a bunker turret.
So that's not really too difficult. It may take you a little while, but you're basically talking, again, either acquisition or domination, possibly one of the DLC ones, but acquisition would probably be the easiest. And it's just a matter of making sure you're the one that gets into the turret when the round starts.
Which means hitting your triangle button immediately and over and over and over again as fast as you can whenever you're about to spawn into the game. And the other tip I can give you is have a repair kit with you, because these turrets on bunkers take rocket fire like magnets. So once a turret goes down or gets damaged, pop out, repair it, get back in it, do your work.
They take damage from rocket fire and
large sniper rifles.
Oh, and vehicle turrets too.
Yeah, those very annoying.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it on that one. It's just a matter of just kind of rinse and repeat until you get your 50.
Alright, now we're going to be moving on again to the Junkyard Jockey. Alright guys, this trophy is not easy to get. Let me repeat, it is not easy to get.
It sounds simple enough because all you need is 3 Mr. Bad Wrench ribbons. Now, Mr. Bad Wrench ribbon is for destroying 5 vehicles in 1 round.
So, the biggest advice we can give you on this one is to be on an attacking faction, using the sensor jammer, and play acquisition all day long. Sneak behind enemy lines and blow up their motor pools that have vehicles in them. Because if you try to just go on and take on vehicles with rocket launchers or grenades, you might get 2 or 3 in a game, maybe 4 in a game, but usually you will not get to 5 because you'll get snaked out of a kill by some random grenade from another player or things like that. And if you're using strategic strikes to try to get vehicles, they're just not coming quickly enough. The recharge rate on your strikes just isn't enough to keep going with it. Now, I did get lucky and get one of these by dropping mortars on APCs when I was defending. But that was a very lucky game because the players on the other side were very retarded and they kept parking their vehicles together all in one spot. This usually never happens, so the best advice is to be on an attacking faction, Valor or Raven, and sneak behind enemy lines and go blow up motor pools to get your Mr. Bad Wrench ribbons.
Yeah, because if you get lucky, there'll be 2 vehicles in each motor pool that you blow up. A lot of times, somebody will spawn back there and take at least one of the vehicles, so it's usually only 1. But every now and then you'll get lucky and hit it when both have respawned back in there. In which case, if you can hit 3 of those in a round, you're good.
Alright, so that's our advice on that one, and best of luck. It is not an easy one to get. Alright, moving on. There are worse ones, but that's not an easy one. Thanks, Snake. We're moving on to Close Call. This is earning 3 Bomb Squad ribbons.
Bomb Squad ribbons are actually not that bad. That's disarming 3 charges in a round. So, of course, that means you're going to be defending. And this is one that would probably be easiest on S.V.E.R, since they're the ones that defend the most.
Definitely.
But it's not too bad. I mean, and it can be charges on anything. You're talking gates, mortar batteries,
sensor
bunkers, AAs, just
AA.
anything that can have charges set on it.
So
actually, I think that it even qualifies for the C objectives on Sabotage.
Yeah,
those require disarming too, so you might even get one there. I'm pretty sure I've gotten some in Sabotage before. So,
when you guys are putting your skill points in, if you're trying to get this trophy really easily, max out your engineering so that you can disarm and arm bombs.
There is a skill under the electronics tree where you can arm and disarm bombs a lot faster. You're talking the difference between probably like 5 seconds and maybe like 2 or 3. And
yeah,
when you've got all kinds of dudes around you, it can be a major difference.
So, if you don't want to do that, then, just make sure you take out who's ever around what you're trying to disarm first, and then do it. Alright guys, we are coming to the end of our first video here, because we're almost at the 15-minute mark. We're going to pick up right at this trophy on our next video, and we're just going to keep going. So stay with us. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon. Alright, bye.